not in the picture.
Having camera issues. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to tweet you guys a great analogy right now. Please do.
Please do. That'd be great.
Did you link it to Twitter?
I did.
Very good.
Hello.
Hi, Padge.
It does get insane. Not. Ugh. Did you just do that?
No.
Why is that happening?
I think we're sitting on the volume button weird somehow.
We are still gay. Seem to have worked. Hillary for prison, that's right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Trump did put out a challenge to Hillary to both release their health records. Here are 10,000 M&Ms for you. 10 or so have been poisoned, and there's no way to tell which ones. Do you still want them? No? Now you understand why I don't think we should be bringing refugees here from Syria. Very, very good. Thank you, Chillionaire.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Padge.
Hillary, the only walls that Hillary has are all the way around her house, which is interesting. Hey.
Hi, Mama Mary. Her rallies, what rallies?
Oh, and her rallies, the walls. Yeah, DNC. For sure. What are you doing?
Trying to get it on there.
Oh, okay.
Every night I do that.
To watch y'all. School's more important, actually. Yeah, school's more important. Oh, I just got bit by something. Hopefully it wasn't a bee, because I don't like bees.
Is anybody watching the VMAs right now and how horrible they are?
School is more important.
Why do it look so dark in that one?
I think because my camera is down, or my brightness is down.
Gotcha.
Y'all are like a class.
We can maybe get you political science credits.
The only news that tells it like it is. Thank you. What's up, fellow patriot?
Sick. No, he's not a vegan.
No, 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 no.
I mean, no, he's not a vegan.
May have overreacted. Just a little bit. Yeah, we turned on the VMAs for a hot second.
He did.
And very disappointing. Do you guys have workout diets? No. We need to pray for our country. Yes, we do. Absolutely. It's getting to a point where just, my gosh, I can't even believe somebody that is so corrupt as Hillary Clinton is even close to becoming president. I mean, what? Have we lost all values in everything we do as Americans? How is she close at all? Another Chicago shooting in the news and Trump takes out for a tweet. Yeah. Sounds like the media.
What was I gonna say? Super good, super important.
I think they're lying too, to be honest with you. But I mean, just for her to even be considered is shocking to me.
Oh, Does it not concern anybody that she hasn't given a press conference in 268 days, that she has canceled all of her rallies until the debate? Is this not a red flag to anybody? I mean, what is she hiding?
That's State of the Union address, 1995. So different from Hillary. Yeah. I mean, I read this really interesting article from the Washington Post, I believe it was, about how Hillary Clinton, if she really does support LGBT or not, and it goes like in depth with people that knew her and worked with her way back when.
I think I read that too.
And it's actually a very good article. I should have posted it on Twitter. I didn't even think about it. But, I mean, essentially all it is like she continued to pander. Even when she denied same-sex marriage, she had friends that were pushing her. They were like, that this is the right decision. And she said, nope, I'm going to stand by my husband no matter what. And she refused to, make same-sex marriage an issue. Because she didn't believe in it. She honestly disagreed with same-sex marriage. And then in 2008, she had the opportunity again, and she refused it. And, I mean, if she was so progressive and so, I don't know. I don't get it. Why Trump? Many important reasons why Trump. We really need to focus on law and order again. We need to have people following the law. We need to have, manufacturing stay in this country. We need to have jobs in this country. We need to have our economy healed. We need to not have $21 trillion in debt. And then yet, I just feel like Donald Trump is the only one talking about that, but everybody else is talking about social issues, where trannies are going to poop, and I just don't care about that.
Trump does not hate gays, and if you look at his history, it goes back to the late 80s when he was giving donations to AIDS research and gay men's health research. That proves that he doesn't.
Right. And I mean, to be honest with you, if you honestly think that Trump hates gays, what the hell do you think Hillary does then?
That's a good question.
If Trump hates gays, then Hillary Clinton despises gays. Like 10 times worse. And Trump does not hate gays, just to clarify.
Really, really does not.
He's not a true Republican either way. I disagree with you. Every single policy that he's outlined has supported conservative values. I think the Republican Party is dead because it failed to account for people like us, failed to account for millennials and younger generations moving on up, and the Republican Party is dead. And I honestly think that conservatism is not dead. I believe Trump is a conservative, and Trump exposed this dead GOP for what it really is.
At least he is an American and puts America's values first.
Right.
You got stung? We will build a new Republican Party, and I think that's what he is working on doing. By his hallmark RNC speech, he shows that he is all-inclusive to everybody. Never before in the history has any RNC person, included homosexuals in their speech, let alone let them talk during the convention. So, times are changing. Trump's on board, and I think he is spearheading the whole new GOP. Exactly, that is a very good point, Mojo. Hillary wants to bring in Syrians who hate gays. And it's interesting how if you type in Trump poll, everything into Google, everything has changed in favor of him, that they're shocked how he's cut his lead in half. It's only a 3-point gap now. They don't know what to do. Their heads are spinning. Okay, what about Donald Trump being a racist? Give me a little bit more to go on than that. Republican Party no longer fit for purpose. Trump will destroy it and build a new party. Exactly, and like I said, I think he's already spearheading it.
Come on, Jelly, wear it.
She wants a shirt like this, but she's scared to wear it at work.
Oh no, don't be scared.
He was never down in the polls. Every Twitter poll has Trump in a landslide. Exactly.
It's true. And that's Twitter, full of millennials. That should say something. We do need Reaganomics back. Caffeine doesn't affect me that way.
I did catch the gays for Trump at the Latino rally.
His fly was open.
He is very stereotypical and undermines African Americans and makes women feel like trash. How? Because he was the first person to ever employ a female to oversee the construction of a skyscraper.
He currently
Ever.
employs more female executives than men. He pays women more than a man for the same work. I don't think they would think that they're treated very badly. And if you're talking about Rosie O'Donnell, that woman is a fat pig. Is indeed a fat pig.
Did you watch Gary Johnson on Fox News Sunday? No.
His wife is a legal citizen of the United States, and she is extremely successful and was successful before Donald Trump.
Thank you, Eric.
We love Milo. We love Milo very, very much. I'm gay for Trump too. Good.
So can we start like a group on Twitter of like gay for Trump supporters?
Yeah,
and like
we
people
should.
can.
We should have a Gays for Trump group. We are dating for 3 years. I think it's important that people realize Donald Trump respects everybody regardless, respects all Americans, regardless of your race or sexual orientation.
We don't do the Facebook so much. No, you don't have to be gay in that group to be in the group.
A gay world and civilization. This is true. Link Twitter. We have Twitter linked, don't we?
Link Twitter for followers. So our Twitter is @politicvoice, the letter A, politic voice, and so is our YouTube. We definitely want followers of both.
How do I convert my gay friends? They're all hopelessly liberal. Ask them what they think about the 630,000 Syrian refugees that Hillary Clinton wants to bring over here. Those 630,000 refugees, we know for a fact 5% of them are ISIS, but that's not what I'm worried about. I'll repeat that. The 5% is not what I'm worried about being ISIS. It's the over half of those Syrian refugees that abide and follow Sharia law, which is the killing of homosexuals, the oppression of women. Just ask them how they feel about that, because I feel like as a gay man, I definitely don't want 630,000 new citizens to this country that want to kill me. So
I'm gay and 90% of my gay friends are voting for Trump. Where are you from?
That's awesome.
If I may ask.
how is that biased? It's a fact. How is that biased? The fact that the majority of 630,000 of the Syrian refugees that are going to come into this country support Sharia law. How is that bias in any way, shape, or form? That is straight up fact.
They would just tell you that you're racist. Then ask them how. Tell them to give you specifics as to how you're racist.
Oh, based argument?
Because they won't be able to do it.
Right. And keep it clean.
Or you can have them watch our scope, and we can help inform them. They can call us.
Do you support gay marriage? Absolutely. I believe in separation of church and state, and I believe in a secular society, and the government needs to recognize marriage for what they need to recognize marriage for, and that's all there is to it. Yeah. But again, I'm not all about social issues right now. I'm about fixing our economy, fixing our issues around the world, fixing the trade deficits that we have with pretty much every country we do business with, fixing this these hate groups in America um, that are destroying our country.
Our Twitter is apolitic voice.
Illegal immigration is our biggest problem. I don't know if it's our biggest problem. I think that there are more very pressing issues personally, but it definitely is an issue. Hillary tells people what they want to hear. Trump tells people what they need to hear. Exactly. Look at all the people dying. Look at all the people dying at the hands of radical religious ideology. Look at all the people dying for gang and gun related issues. And it's not the guns killing anybody. It's definitely the ideology, the mentality of people firing the weapon. And you can see it all over this country, especially like areas in Chicago and Detroit and many, many others. And armed gays don't get bashed.
Ooh, I read an interesting thing on Twitter today. Even though Ronald Reagan was wounded by a bullet during an assassination attempt, he still fought for people's rights to bear arms.
And that is true. Obama has deported more illegals than Bush did. That is actually true. I disagree with you. Hillary may not be the best, but you can't put Trump. Hillary is by far the worst decision that this country has seen in a long time. The amount of corruption and the amount of money and the amount of favors that she owes to other countries should terrify you. And, none of this is happening by an accident. She didn't beat Bernie Sanders because of her upstanding record. She beat Bernie Sanders because she knows how to manipulate the game. And that is something that we should all be fighting against.
Trump signs the front of checks. Hillary signs the back of checks.
That's good.
That's very good.
That's good.
And it should be very alarming that when Hillary's going to go into Congress to pass laws, she's going to have to take all of these other countries' wants and needs and all of these special interest groups' wants and needs and put them into how this law is formatted. Plus, she still has to add in the American citizens. And, of course, they're going to come last. So what laws are we really going to get in this country that are going to benefit us as Americans? Whereas Trump, his only special interest group is America.
I don't care how negative you think Trump is. I don't care how much he hurts anybody's feelings. What he's saying is he's speaking to the true issues in this country. He is speaking to, we don't even know. There's 11 to 30. We don't even know. 11 to 30 million people in this country illegally. We don't even know what the number is. That should be a problem, right? We know for a fact these people are on entitlement programs. That's another problem. The fact that we have $21 trillion in debt. These things may be things that you don't want to hear about because you don't like hearing about them. But he is saying what's really wrong with this country. He is standing up and actually saying the actual problems in this country, whereas Hillary Clinton, if you notice, doesn't say anything at all because she's sleeping. Or she's saying, we need to focus on the black community. We need to focus on the gay community. No, let's focus on the American community and let's get ourselves out of this shithole. My parents think I'm a racist.
I don't like Hillary, but how is Trump a good move? Because, well, for you personally, he's going to lower taxes, so you're going to have more money in your pocket. There's a positive right there.
Right.
But he puts America first. He puts Americans first. He is all about taking care of our country before we are worried about helping out other countries that we can't even afford to help anymore.
Right.
He is going to lower corporate taxes so that big businesses have incentive to stay here in the country and so that we can produce goods in America again. And by doing that, we're going to have people employed at these businesses.
That's why we should say F you to the parties and go green. I want to speak on something because I talked to a very educated individual today about this green movement and how it's pretty much a very millennial ideology that we need to go green, as you say. So what are you proposing to go green so that the United States stops fracking and stops production of coal? Because that accounts for 80% of what we use to power our country. So what are you proposing we do? Go to wind and solar energy? It's not efficient enough to power 80% of our country. It's not efficient enough to do anything. That's why we're not doing it. Nor is it cheap. It's expensive shit. I mean, one of those frickin' windmills costs at least $1 million a piece. It's expensive, and they only power like what? Half a square block or something like that. I don't even know. But they are not efficient enough to work. So what do you propose that we do? Throw all of our money into, NREL and hope for the best? I mean, clearly it's not going to work. And then you're sitting there saying, oh, we need to get tough on business. We need to, screw business, these billionaires, the 1%ers out of whatever. Well, what happens is they're going to manufacture more outside of the country, which means those other countries who actually use fossil fuels dirtier than the United States is just going to be burning the fossil fuels instead of the United States. An environmental issue is a world problem, not just a United States problem. Like, seriously, your arguments are completely faltered. I would love to have renewable energy, but it's not efficient enough to use. And if we had Bernie Sanders, for example, and said screw all the oligarchs or whatever, they're just going to produce outside of the country, and then they're going to be polluting the atmosphere instead of us. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. The 1% creates the jobs. If you screw the 1%, you screw the 99%. Somebody said, I don't like Hillary, or I don't like either of them, but I really, really don't like Trump. What about Trump is worse to you than Hillary Clinton is?
I hope you read the CNN article about Sharia law. None of you idiots understand it. We know very well what Sharia law is, and I don't care how much distortion a media outlet can put on what Sharia law is. We know exactly what Sharia law is. Exactly what it is. What up, faggots? Go drink some bleach. You're cute.
I'm still waiting for them to come out with a different flavored bleach. Original doesn't do it for me. Trump was a Democrat before he ran for the Clintons, or before he ran for president. Guess what? I was also a Democrat before I was woken up. People change. People open their eyes. People learn.
Why are you supporting Trump? He's speaking to the true issues in this country. He's putting Americans as a whole first. He's not dividing us into black, white, gay, Mexican, illegal, or I guess he is illegal, but he's not dividing us into these little subsections of America. He's saying America as a whole, we need to move forward and get past our issues, and he's speaking to the true issues facing this country.
My girlfriend has a bunch of gay friends. Okay. Do they threaten you?
Falling for what? Falling for what? Because the only thing that I've seen is corrupt government for the past 30 years. That's what I've seen. So what could we possibly be falling for? We're falling for a shakeup. We're falling for somebody different. We're falling for somebody that isn't controlled by anybody. How did I contradict myself?
No offense, but is Trump really a Republican, or is he the new Republican?
Trump is a conservative. The Republican Party is dead. The wall will be built.
What do your girlfriend's gay friends feel about Trump? We don't need to buy votes, nor do we need to get them from the graves.
Like the Democrats. I don't understand. There is no money in this for Trump. He's walking away from his company. He's walking away from his billionaire lifestyle to do some real public service. He's refused the president's salary, nor is he going to make a dime on anything else. So I don't even understand how you could think Trump is going to make money. And it's already widely reported that the Trump organization is taking a lot of hits on deals because he's not there, for one, and two, because it's harder to, do it while he's running for president.
Somebody said that Canada is praying that Trump doesn't become president. Why? Why are you so threatened by Trump?
He's a reality star. It's not just about being a reality star. I mean, he was successful well before he was a reality star. And he was successful because he had a good mind of how to, move a company forward, turning $1 million into over $10 billion. I mean, that's a success rate that none of us could speak of. And that's something I want for my country. We don't hate Muslims at all. I don't think that there is a place for Muslims who support Sharia law in Western civilization at all. If you support Sharia law, you have no place in Western civilization. It's as simple as that. No questions. He didn't go bankrupt. He filed for Chapter 11, which is a restructuring of debt 4 times to save the companies, which he did save. He later sold them off and kept his name rights, so he still makes money off of them.
Somebody asked, do you think that the left will rig the polls, and if they do you think he'll still win? I do think he'll still win. I think many of the states have policies in place to prevent this, and many of the states have voter ID laws in place. And I think that because of that, it'll be interesting to see the states that Clinton actually wins, if she wins any, and it's going to be the ones that the voter ID laws are not in place.
Do most of your gay friends support Trump or Hillary? Honestly, probably Hillary, unfortunately. Well, no, they don't like Hillary. I guess they just don't like Trump. And they never really specified if they're voting for Hillary or not. But I just assume that if you're not voting for Trump, it's a vote for Hillary. So I don't think they like Hillary at all, to be honest with you. But that's not true. I'm in investments. What kind of investment could you ever make to put in $1 million and have over $10 billion? I want to know this investment. Please inform me. Let me know, because you are completely off. If you even know how investments work, I would just love to know. Go ahead and tweet us. Direct message us on
IRA
Twitter.
pool.
IRA? Everybody knows how stupid that comment was then. I do not have a Series 7. Invest in weed. We profit greatly off of the weed law in Colorado. We do not smoke it, but we profit.
Hey, gay boy Cody.
Why Trump? We come on this scope every night at 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time to explain why Trump for about 2 hours, so stick around. To sum up all the points that we make about why Trump, it's because he's putting this country first as a whole instead of dividing this country into pieces. I mean, we can see evidence of how Democrats divide just by President Obama. Look at the race relations now, our current state in race relations. We're killing each other. We hate each other, right? Essentially. I mean, just turn on your TV and you can see it's always race-driven, race-baiting, race everything. That didn't necessarily happen with George Bush. I mean, say what you want about George Bush, but that didn't really happen.
Somebody said something about the blacks being kept in the ghettos by Democrats. And we agree. The Democrats hold minorities down so that they will continue to vote for them. And I urge you to talk to your friends about it. Help them to understand that that's what is happening. I definitely encourage to not keep your mouth shut. Speak your mind. Let people know what you're thinking.
All you need to do to be a Democrat is take away minorities' resources, and then you're guaranteed at least 60 million votes. If you take away minorities' resources and keep them in a place to where they struggle and need the government, you will have a guaranteed 60 plus million votes come election year. It happens every single time, and I'm surprised that minority groups really aren't waking up to that.
Trump has never said anything against gays. It's fun to read the stuff that people post about how Trump bashes gays left and right and all this stuff when we know it's not true.
Trump isn't for gay marriage. Actually, he is. I mean, look at, he's went to, gosh, I can't remember their name. He just went to a gay marriage in 2012. If he didn't support gay marriage, why would he go to one to support it? Also, Elton John praising him for him getting not necessarily married, but a civil partnership, a civil union in 2005, and Trump called it a marriage and said this is a marriage that's going to work. So, I mean, that's an awful lot of praise for somebody that hates gay marriage, don't you think?
Mike Pence did tremendous things for Indiana's economy, and that's what he's going to continue to do for the country. He just had an interview with, who was I watching? The CNN guy.
Anderson Cooper?
No, I was watching it in the bedroom. No, the guy that I said was really ugly. Tapper. Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper and Mike Pence were talking about the Clinton Foundation and how Hillary was still accepting money from overseas donors for the Clinton Foundation when she was Secretary of State, and it was a complete conflict of interest. And Jake Tapper tried to turn it around to talk about Clinton, but Pence wouldn't bite on it, and he turned it back around and was very enlightening about how Clinton is still accepting money from these foreign donors, even though she's running for president, and that is a huge conflict of interest. So I don't know how it's allowed to still go on and why people don't find this suspicious, that nothing is happening to her.
It's interesting that somebody just said Trump flips. I don't see a single issue that Trump has flipped on. Not one single issue this entire political season that Trump has flipped on. If anything, he doubles down. But if you really want to talk about flipping, look at your precious Hillary Clinton. I mean, that bitch knows how to flip. Let me tell you. How did he flip on Syrian refugees? Not one time has he ever flipped on Syrian refugees. I agree with that. I think Trump plays hard at first, then adjusts, because it's a business tactic. I think it's not necessarily flipping. I think that he, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most assertive you can possibly be and 1 being the most passive, he goes in with a 20 and then negotiates down to a 15. So he's going to end up with more than he wanted to in the first place, but he started really, really high. I believe that. Whereas what we have now with President Obama, he starts with an 8 and ends up with a 2. I'm openly gay and I'm scared to come out as a Trump supporter. It is difficult.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Protect yourself. It's the tolerant left. I mean, the tolerant left is really the most intolerant group of people I have ever met. We've had so much more support from conservatives than we've ever had from Democrats. And let me just go further and to say we've had so much more support from Christian conservatives than we've ever had from liberals. I just want everybody to understand that. That is I'm surprised.
The left is very violent.
How so? We've had multiple people, at least 80 plus people that tell us, um, thank you guys for what you do. God bless you. I'm a conservative, or I'm a hardcore Christian conservative, and I agree with what you guys are doing. We've had many, many, many comments like that. If we're annoying, you can leave. It's probably not the best safe space for you here. Go to a scope that more fits your needs, like a dab scope. That probably suits your needs a little bit better than what we can do for you here. Nobody's attacking Muslims. Not one person has attacked a Muslim. I said, if you support Sharia law, you have no place in Western civilization. So you, my friend, are generalizing to say all Muslims. Not one time have I ever said all Muslims. I just said if you support Sharia law, GTFO. Got any frisbees? What? We will continue to do exactly what we're doing. Thank you. See, another Christian conservative telling us about their support. Yep.
Who would you vote for if Trump wasn't the GOP nominee? That is a pointless question because he is, so...
88% of British Muslims thinks homosexuality is immoral, and that doesn't bother me. But that really, really honestly doesn't bother me. If 88% of Muslims in the UK believe that homosexuality is immoral, that's fine. Because you know what? It's just words, and it's fine. I can deal with words. Words don't bother me, unlike the left. Words don't bother me. What bothers me is when they kill me, or attack me, or, physically harm me in some way. That's where I draw the line. So let's get the percentages on that.
CV1X, why do you support Hillary? Why are you voting for Hillary? I'm gay too, and that's why I won't vote Trump. Why are you with Hillary? Will you call and tell us why you're with Hillary?
Yeah, we have our call-in set up if you want to call and speak your piece. Are all Muslims terrorists? Of course not. And you can't take one person's opinion for what everybody believes. Of course not all Muslims are terrorists. I think the majority of Muslims especially in the Middle East, support something called Sharia law, which, in my opinion, is terrorism. I mean, it perfectly lies within the definition of terrorism. So Sharia law is terrorism to me, but not all Muslims support Sharia law, but a vast majority of them do. You with her? No, I'm with you.
Oh, I asked 2 people to call in, and they both went completely silent.
How do I call in? We will give you the phone number. Diverse crowd. I know, that's what we aim for. We love a diverse crowd. Because we are not racist here. We welcome everybody and their beliefs, because that's what America is. To sit down, have an open conversation with each other. A respectful conversation with each other. And that's what we all should be doing, instead of calling each other faggots and what other else you people can come up with.
Good evening, Johnny. And here's our Twitter and YouTube, if you want to follow us there as well. It's all one word, Politic Voice.
Can you guys do a backflip? Yes, I can. Here is the call-in. We 100% encourage intelligent phone conversations, and we would love... What are you doing?
Because I'm trying to get it on both.
And we would love a Hillary Clinton supporter to call in and defend Hillary Clinton. That's what we would love to hear. But we haven't had too many of those.
They don't exist.
They don't exist. What's Harambe? Some sort of elephant. I'm kidding. It's a gorilla.
Can we broadcast the call? It's live.
It's live. Where is the phone?
Right here.
Oh. Thank you for watching. So, where's our Hillary Clinton supporters that are supposed to be calling in? What percentage of Muslims support Sharia law? It depends what country. Good source for you to understand that information is Pew Research. You can look there, or you can look at religionofpeace.com or .org. I can't remember what it is, and they have all the statistics broken down by country, and it is staggering. But I will tell you one thing: 51% of Muslims in the United States, right here in this country, 51% support Sharia law, and 52% in the UK support Sharia law. So you can imagine that those that support Sharia law in the Middle East would be in the high 80s, and that's usually what you see.
We are not filming on a green screen.
Your phone sounds like a Clinton rally. Quiet. Exactly.
What day is it? It's Sunday.
51% was actually done as a poll, and it is not fake. If you want to disagree with poll numbers, feel free to do so.
Hello, Coke86.
What was the website? You can look at Pew Research, or you can look at religionofpeace.com or .org. I can't remember which one it is. Trump is actually catching up.
He's only down 3 points.
Averages are only average down 3 points.
Oh, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller. You are live.
Hey, I was gonna say that I'm a classical liberal,
Okay.
which is kind of like a certain denomination of libertarianism. And I really like what you guys are doing. I like what you're doing for Trump.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of him. I think that the Gays for Trump movement is really interesting because you see a lot of people on the left slander Trump, saying that he's a bigot and he hates all these certain people.
Right.
When really he's doing the best for the minority vote than any Republican for the past 30 years.
Thank you
Exactly.
so much for bringing that up. That is so important to announce again, because Trump has unified a more diverse population than any other Republican in history. That is absolutely true. Thank you for bringing that to light.
That's all I really wanted to say. Thank you.
Question for you, if you don't mind.
All right.
Are you gay yourself?
No, I am not.
Okay. Do you know any gay people?
Yes, my brother himself is gay and transgender.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know what his thoughts are on Trump?
He very much hates him. None of my family is really. Yeah, they're all voting for Hillary.
Gotcha. Do you speak
Actually,
openly
my brother's
about
for Jill.
this to your family?
They know that I support him, but they don't really like it.
Okay.
It's something of a cult.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Well, thank you for calling. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Get AIDS and die. Wow. Look at the tolerance in here tonight. See, I told you, there is more bashing to gay conservatives than, in my opinion, any other gay out there. If you're a gay conservative, forget about it.
Hello, Florida.
There's no tolerance there.
I did not know that Oklahoma was the only state that Obama did not win one county.
Yes, liberals prove our point every single night. That's why we don't block anybody. If you notice, we don't block anybody because they prove our point every single night. And it is wonderful.
Somebody said that they are supporting Trump and they've been attacked. Do you think it's showing the left's desperation? I think it is. the left is supposed to be tolerant and accepting of everybody, but yet when you talk to them about something they disagree with, they have nothing to back themselves up with. They don't know any facts about what they're supporting. They resort to name-calling and, like you said, violence. They get very defensive, but they don't know what they're defending.
And actually, the real clue, in my opinion, that the left is failing is that Hillary Clinton is not public. You know, she is very silent, and if you hear from her, it's for a gleaming 20 minutes. And that should tell you something. I mean, you don't hear from her. Where is she? Where is Hillary? Where are you, sweetheart? Where are you, mama? I want to see you. But no, nowhere. Nowhere to be found. And how long has it been since she's done a press conference?
268 days.
268 days since Hillary Clinton has done a press conference.
Is that not concerning to anybody?
What is she scared of, I wonder?
What questions can she not answer?
Donald Trump is not hateful. He's unifying America. He is unifying a vast group of minorities into his camp. And he understands that by putting America first is something that should hit all of our best interest, not just a few of our best interest. When Hillary Clinton runs for president, she hits the African American best interest, or she claims to. She clearly has done nothing for the African American community. She hits the gay best interest, or she claims to, because in 2013 she was completely against gay marriage until it was politically expedient for her, and then she was like, oh, okay, you know what, it's fine, whatever, I support it, why not? And you know, how many pride parades has she been in? 3? Maybe, yeah, 3, only 3. And every single one of those pride parades was on an election year for her? Really? What has she done for the gay community? That's what I would love to know. What has she done?
Nothing comes to mind.
Oh,
we're ringing.
we are ringing. Go ahead, caller, you are live.
You guys continue to bash Islam, and I'm pretty sick of it, to be honest.
What'd you say?
I mean,
We're bashing Islam and they're sick of it.
Anything about Islam at all?
Yeah, I understand quite a few things about
It's
Islam.
the religion of peace.
Let me ask you a question. Do you happen to know what Sharia means? You know what I mean?
Do you understand what Sharia law is?
Every Muslim supports...
No, answer the question. Do you understand what Sharia law is?
You don't get it.
Do you understand what Sharia law is?
It's the path of... Listen, it's the
Notice how
path
he's
of
not
open
answering the
path
question,
of-
everybody. All 113 people in here. Notice how he's not answering that question. I'll ask it again slower. Do you understand what Sharia law is?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Sir, it's the path that every Muslim... I'm not saying I support at all or parrot
Yeah.
Sharia law that ISIS puts out there. Not at all. Every Muslim in some way supports some portion of Sharia. A low-level support of Sharia, but it's the path that all Muslims have.
Okay, so let me ask you a further question. Can I ask you a further question since you're so well versed on Muslims? Isn't it a fact that in the Quran itself it talks about how if you don't support 100%, if you are considered a moderate Muslim, you're not a true Muslim. You have to abide by Sharia law. You have to abide by all of these laws, which is the killing of homosexuals, the oppression of women, cutting off people's hands when they steal things. Women can't drive, women can't vote, women can't be seen outside without a man by their side. If you don't follow those things to a T, sir, then you're not a true Muslim. Isn't that what it says? Isn't that what it says?
It also... Listen, can I explain something? When
Yes
I
or
was
no?
12
It's a
years
yes or
old,
no
okay,
question.
I was raised...
It's a yes or no
I'm trying to
question.
explain.
No, I don't want your explanation. It's a yes or no question.
This is a common tactic. Like,
Mhm.
you shut down
Exactly.
everybody that,
Yep.
Right.
Thank you for not being able to answer that question. I think you helped all 105 people in here understand what Islam truly is. Thank you so much.
Sharia means Islamic canonical law based on the teachings of the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet, prescribing both religious and secular duties and sometimes retributive penalties for lawbreaking.
Ooh.
It has generally been supplemented by legislation adapted to the conditions of the day, through the manners in which it should be applied in modern states, and is subject of dispute between Islamic fundamentalists and modernists.
Go ahead, respond.
I'm trying to give you a valid. In Quran 41:34, it also says, good and evil deeds are not equal. Repel evil with what is better.
But
Then
they
you
only...
will see that one who was once your enemy has become your dearest friend. How about that, though?
How about that? Exactly. They only consider people followers of Islam, right? In the Quran, only people that are considered actual humans are followers of Islam. Isn't that correct? So if you're all equal...
So does Mormon. Every religion does that. Catholics think being homosexual is a moral sin. You're going to go to hell.
I'm okay with people saying that because those are just words. But what you don't understand is that Muslims are killing homosexuals on a day-to-day basis.
Listen, but listen.
Basis.
None of the ones I do it. None of the Muslims I know do that.
Oh, so that makes it okay? Let me tell you a little thing.
No.
Even if a small group
That's why
of...
no one does it.
Okay.
It's fucking stupid here. Let me ask you a question. What are the people in East Texas that support Trump? What do they think of you? Both of you. What do you think they think of you?
We've had more support of Christian conservatives.
Your facts right in your face.
We've had...
Up.
I don't care if you call me a faggot. That doesn't bother me. If you push me off a building, that's what I have a problem with.
I'm not calling you that. I support gay people. I think everyone should be able to live the way they want to live. That's why we live in America.
That's great. A secular state. 100%.
Learn the religion before you slam it. You're slamming it.
So,
you're acting like we're all barbaric terrorists.
So we agree.
Stop.
So we agree.
What the Triolos? That's what the Triolos make. Yes.
We agree. We live in a secular state. Uh-huh. So we agree on a secular state, separation of church and state. I support the religion, freedom of religion, of any religion. I support it. But you understand that Sharia law, excuse me, you understand that Sharia law does not assimilate with a secular state. There is no such thing as a secular state with Sharia law because it is quite literally the opposite. The definition of Sharia law is the opposite of a secular state. It is enforcing your religion through political viewpoints. That's what Sharia law is.
Your main goal is to get to heaven, get to paradise. You don't know that, right?
Our main goal is to get to marriage?
Yes.
No.
To get to heaven. That's all.
Oh, to get to heaven.
Oh, heaven.
In Sharia, though, that's Sharia. What does Sharia mean? Answer that question.
Dude, I just read it for you.
He just read you the definition.
What does it mean?
He just read you the definition of Sharia law.
What does Sharia mean in Arabic? Tell me.
I don't know.
Answer the question.
Islam means
Oppressed or something like that.
I didn't ask what Islam meant. I said, what does Sharia mean in Islam?
I don't know.
What is Arabic? What does it mean in Arabic?
Tell me.
It means to pass.
To pass?
To pass to heaven. Yes.
Exactly. It's the rules you must follow to get to heaven.
Heaven is.
It's the rules you must follow to get to heaven.
Well, obviously I'm not getting through to you. You just assimilate that every Thursday. Did I at all say at once
No.
that I believe in barbaric Sharia law?
No, we agree. We agree in a secular society, right?
Fair enough.
There we go. We agree.
Just stop. Listen, you don't know a lot about Islam. I think you should stop talking about it.
But the majority...
You think that we should ban... Listen, you think that we should ban all Muslims who come to this country because you think they're all terrorists?
Absolutely not. Neither does Donald Trump.
Can I ask you one last question, then I'll hang up and I'll let you get back to your broad. I'm not trying to disturb your making demands anyway.
Sure.
Canada accepts any person. How many Canadians have committed terrorism now?
I don't know.
Zero.
I haven't done my research on that, but I will definitely look it up and let you know. But I do know that every single day for the past 2 years there has been a radical Islamic attack somewhere in the world. Last year alone, the peaceful religion of Islam that you speak of, killed over 80,000 people last year alone. And then in 2016, since January 1st, 2016, I think they're up to like 35,000 deaths now.
And the leader you listen to, the guy you want in the office, is similar to a guy that killed 6 million people.
No, he's not.
Who? Hitler? You obviously don't know Hitler, sir, if you are comparing Donald Trump to Hitler.
Clearly I do. Maybe you should do a little research. Listen, at the end of the day...
Oh, I know my research. You clearly don't know who Hitler is.
And until you realize that, what are you going to do when he loses? I just asked that. Are you gonna talk about
He's not going to lose. We're not worried. We are not worried. We are not worried at all.
Can you answer that, though? What happens if he does?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do if he loses. I am going to get myself into politics. I am going to run for Congress or Senate, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power. Are you going to let me answer the question, or are you going to cut me off, sir?
No, if he does lose.
No, sir, do you know what? You're on mute right now, because I'm trying to answer your question.
No. We were done. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it. We were done with him, and then you just opened up a can of worms. But
very angry.
Interestingly enough, he could not answer what Sharia law does. Like, he knew exactly what Sharia law was, but he was trying to defend it. That should be an eye-opener to all 108 people in here. This is very similar. Let me just tell you a story. Okay, I was looking at Periscope, actually, and I found this gentleman from Virginia, United States. Virginia, United States. This individual was a Muslim, and I'm completely okay with Muslims, until I asked him, do you support Sharia law? He said, absolutely. I said, so you believe in the killing of homosexuals? His response to my question was, only if they're gay in public. Excellent. I couldn't watch anymore. Turn them off. Like, this in the United States. And isn't it funny? He couldn't even answer what Sharia law was. Didn't you notice that? Wow. Wow. He's called in before, and we did not yell over him. We do support gay marriage.
We do. And we're gay, and we support Trump.
Because he couldn't answer what Sharia law is. I asked him a yes or no question. He did not want to answer the yes or no question. I'm not going to sit there and listen to him as he tries to defend the killing of homosexuals. No way, Jose.
Yeah, and he started the conversation yelling.
He had valid points. What were his valid points? That Sharia is the pathway to heaven, and you need to abide by Sharia law to get to heaven. Is that what his valid point was?
I did answer what Sharia meant. I read it. I read what the definition of Sharia was.
Give me one of his valid points. Just one. Well, oh, I understand the religion perfectly. All I need to know about Islam is Quran 3:28. Quran 3:28.
No religion supports homosexuality. Name one.
I have read the Bible.
And that's regardless if any religion supports it or not, but no other religion throws gays off of roofs. Is it? Go ahead, caller, you are live.
Oh. Same guy.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's chilly.
Can I talk to y'all on the phone now? Absolutely. Give us a call.
It's the vote for Bernie person.
Caller's only valid point was that mental health issues go unchecked. That is a very true statement. Thank you. Christians are told to be good to each other and those around them, even if they don't believe in the religion of Christianity.
Why do you think it's a green screen? My gosh.
Just like that way, because my shoulders hit. Pizza Party Ben shared us? Oh, thanks, Pizza Party Ben.
Woo!
We love Milo. Milo, come back to us, baby. We need you in our conservative lives, Milo.
I don't know where the best place is to hold it. Like, upper right? Down here? Up here? Like...
No separation of church and state in Muslim land. Exactly. Exactly. There's no such thing as a secular society in regards to Sharia law. I don't think YouTube can call us. Oh, we are live on YouTube too, just so everybody knows.
You guys ain't gay. You guys just fabulous. Oh, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh. Oh, here we go. No, we're not taking calls from out of the country.
Sorry, Canada. Maybe next time. I didn't understand your question.
You don't really believe that Trump's views are the views of the party?
Well, the GOP is dead and broken. Broken and dead, or one of the two, or both. One of something. Conservatism is not dead. Conservatism will never be dead. Conservatism is what made this country great, just so everybody is aware. And the problem with the GOP is that they didn't consider people like us. They didn't take us into account, or the millennials, or this new generation of conservatives coming into the party. They just thought that they were gonna, you know, walk this walk their entire lives. And the problem was that they didn't change at all with the times. They didn't understand people like us. They didn't understand the millennial generation, and that's why the GOP is dead. I think, you know, a huge deficit to the GOP was the Tea Party. I think that was definitely the beginning of the end. And then
We got one. Go ahead, caller. You are live.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say I'm a Hillary supporter.
Yay.
I don't agree with you guys. I think you guys said a lot of lies.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
But I'm not here to argue with you, but I agree with some of the things. And,
Okay.
you know, but I would like to point out, very quickly, once your show is done, go to the map on Periscope and look at who's broadcasting on Periscope in the Middle East. There are no women. No women. And every time I put the Israeli flag out, they block me. Kind of funny.
Well, if you are a Hillary supporter, how can you be a Hillary supporter then if you see firsthand the oppression taking place?
I don't think Republicans are any better. I mean, look at 8 of the 10 Florida states in the United States are run by Republicans.
That's not true. Chicago,
That's
Detroit.
true.
Chicago, Detroit.
What's that?
Chicago, Detroit. Kansas
Chicago's
City.
not a state?
Kansas City. You understand that all these areas are run by Democrats, right?
Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina.
Oh, but look at the areas. I'm talking about the primary areas that we're talking about. These are all run by Democrats.
You're talking about, I get it. I know that's what you're talking about. But I'm talking about the states. And you talk about illegal immigration being the problem. Now, I'm not going to go into detail because we'll never agree. We'll never agree. But the state with the biggest illegal immigration problem is California.
Right.
Which also has the 8th highest economy in the world.
Look at the population. Are you kidding me? And look at the people in California. All the rich people live in California. Look at Silicon Valley. Look at the celebrities. Look at the big business developers. They're all from California. Are you really contributing that to...
8th highest economy in the world.
So you are saying that their economy is because of illegal immigrants?
No, I am
Okay,
saying-
good. I thought you were headed down that route,
Well,
and you
it's not a
knew that
problem.
was dead wrong, right?
Well, that's why I didn't call to talk about that. I called to talk about, something else that may support your point.
Well, I don't
agree
think
with
we
it.
have ever said that illegal immigration is the cause of our economy. Not one time have we ever said that. I said illegal immigration hurts our economy, but I mean, I think that we need to make better trade deals. We need to incentivize corporations to stay here, otherwise they will leave. That kind of stuff. I think that's what's really hurting us. But
Yeah, I mean, we can go on and on, but, I just wanted to point that out. And also, a lot of these people who are typing in there, they make good points, but you guys ignore them. You block them.
We
we have never blocked anybody that has points. Not one time have we ever blocked anybody that has made coherent points. Not once.
I seen racial slurs towards Mexicans and Arabs, and they weren't blocked.
Look at the slurs towards us. Look at the slurs towards us. Faggots? Are you kidding me?
Today, yep, today you
Every
haven't
single
blocked
day.
anybody else.
Every single day. We get more hate on here than any other race. We get the hate. So before you get on your high horse and start taking it all against Mexicans like you always do, look at how much hate is spewed towards us. Once you realize that,
I see
get
that.
that through your head,
I agree with that.
then we can talk.
What's one policy of Hillary Clinton's that you support?
What policy? Well, I don't care about her policy. She's a Democrat. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, you're what's wrong with this world, this country. You
I
have
can
no
say the
idea
same thing
what
about
you're
you.
voting
You're
for.
saying, Go get a marriage license. Go get a
Oh
marriage
my
license.
god.
I can get a marriage license because it's legal in the United States, buddy.
Yeah, and who wants to make it illegal? Buddy.
Nobody.
buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah, Republicans.
No, they don't.
Where?
Republicans hate you guys.
Actually, we've had more of an outpouring of support from Republicans than we've ever had from the left. Buddy.
What did Jerry Falwell say?
Jerry Falwell is a Christian conservative. That's his personal viewpoints. He is not a politician. Jerry Falwell Jr. is not a politician. He is a minister.
Republican.
He's a minister.
A Republican.
So he's a
He's a
Republican.
Republican, but he is
Republican
not in
minister.
politics whatsoever.
Followed by many other Republicans.
You are... Okay.
So you realize
I can
Hillary's
see you're
gonna,
a little confused.
You realize Hillary's going to raise your taxes, right? Or are
No, I
you
don't realize
are you
that.
middle class?
I went and looked it up. After you said it, and I saw no evidence of that.
She said it. That's evident enough for me.
Yeah, I saw that clip, and I think she misspoke, just like Trump. Trump
Misspoke.
misspeaks all the time.
She misspoke.
Yeah,
Misspoke it did.
you know.
Okay.
So what other
Well,
oh, okay.
Thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
Bye, buddy.
I just want everybody to understand what just happened. We asked him, name one policy that you support of Hillary Clinton's. And he said, I don't care about policy. I'm a Democrat. That's why I'm voting for her.
That's what this country is coming down to.
That is what is happening. Holy crap. How sad is that? Honestly, ask yourself, how sad is that? We do not block a single person that has coherent fact or argument.
We blocked a lot of Lady Gaga supporters.
We
or...
block people that are promoting Lady Gaga and Britney Spears, sure, but that is with
our friend calling back.
reason.
Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Why did I get muted?
I think we were done talking to you.
No, you deflected all my questions and muted me when you were trying to look up what Sharia law meant.
No,
No,
I
he
totally...
read you the definition, dude.
Here, I have it right here for you
It's
again.
on live. It's on live scope. You can go back and look it up.
Okay,
You don't know about Trump.
stop
All right,
talking
here we
for
go.
a second. Stop talking for a second, sir, and I'll tell you what Sharia law is.
Listen,
Sharia law,
I understand
Islamic
Sharia laws. I
canonical
understand
law based
what
on the teachings of the Quran and the traditions of the prophets, prescribing both religious and secular duties and sometimes retributive penalties for lawbreaking. There you go.
Oof.
That's Sharia for you.
I didn't ask you what your definition
No.
is, or some Donald Trump hate word. I said, what does it mean in Arabic? Answer the question.
I'm sorry, I
You
don't
said
know
it's a
Arabic.
you said it's a pathway to heaven.
Correct.
So you have to act on these principles, which is the killing of gays, the oppression of women, cutting off your hand if you steal something, women can't vote, women can't drive, the list goes on and on and on. You have to abide by these to a T to be able to get a pathway to
In
heaven.
America, I know many Muslim people that drive, women and men. I don't know whether you're
Yes,
watching stuff that goes
yes,
on in
but
Iraq,
your
but-
religion says they are not true followers of Islam.
Okay, but again, if you just listen to what I said, in every religion there are extreme and not extreme.
Of course, I understand that, and nobody is
Okay, so are
nobody
Westboro
is saying
Baptists
nobody is
and,
saying that we
regular
hate all
Catholics
Muslims.
the same?
I just said Sharia law is not accepted in this country. Should not be
So what's
accepted
Westboro
in
Baptist? Is that Sharia law?
what's that?
Is Westboro Baptist, are they terrorists?
Westboro Baptist? No, but they don't throw people off of buildings.
They don't stone people
They
to
wanna
death.
kill you, though.
They don't oppress
They don't want
women.
you. They think you're subhuman.
How many Westboro Baptist people have killed anybody, I wonder? Maybe you should do that search.
Listen, I've never in
Listen.
this call, or the
Listen,
other call,
Linda.
Listen, Linda, listen.
I've never once ever said I supported that at all. I'm saying you should understand what Islam is.
Oh, we
how
know.
peaceful it really is.
Do you understand Quran 328? Read Quran 328 for us.
You understand Quran 41:13?
Sir, you don't have to yell.
Read 328 to us.
I want you to answer my question.
I want you to read to us, sir.
Do you understand struggle at all? Because from the looks of both of you, you don't understand.
Sir, somebody
You
on
came up with some rich household
sir?
in Laguna Beach, probably.
Sir,
Here we go with the white privilege bullshit,
Sir,
man.
sir,
Blah, blah, blah.
somebody on Scope thinks your meth is burning. Sir,
You don't listen.
Sir.
You deflect every
Sir.
We are not-
person that doesn't agree with you. Just like the last caller. You made fun of them. You made stupid comments about it because you didn't agree with what you thought of. You're a schmuck asshole, and you have no position at all to talk about power and politics anymore. That's
Look
why
how
I'm saying
angry you are.
None of you know anything.
Look
None
how
of you don't know
angry
anything.
you are.
And I
You're not
can't
very
wait. I want
tolerant.
you guys to come. Once Trump
You're not
goes,
very
I want you
tolerant
guys
for a
to come back.
peaceful person,
I want to hear
man.
from the answer.
right. Okay, so
Here's the answer.
the vote is to hang up on you.
Every time you have asked a question, I have answered it. Every time. Are you, excuse me, are you going to stop speaking? Every time that you have asked a question, I have answered.
No, you still haven't answered the question. Listen, have you ever grown up in poverty at any time?
Have I ever grown up in poverty? I've grown up with no money before.
You what? No money?
Yeah.
When? At what point in your life?
When?
I was growing up.
When I was growing up.
Just from what I've seen, I don't know how you can support Trump then.
Why? Because he wants to reduce taxes for everybody? And if you live in poverty, you don't pay any tax whatsoever?
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, what,
Uh-oh. Stumped him.
but again, I never said at all, I want to make it clear, I never said I supported Sharia at all. All I said was, me and a Muslim, work, I'm a Muslim at all, I support Sharia in some form. Not the extreme version here.
You support Sharia, then you have no place in Western civilization.
I just said I don't.
Oh, you don't. It's hard to hear you.
Maybe you should go on CNN, read the article.
CNN, Clinton News Network. You understand that CNN is Clinton's 7th largest donor.
We do watch CNN. We all know what Sharia law is.
I
There is
watched it because
no...
Mike Pence put Jake Tapper in his place.
So I'm confused. Hold on. I'm confused. Are you defending Sharia law or not? Because you're sitting here saying, I don't like Sharia law, I don't support Sharia law, and then you're saying you need to do your real research on what Sharia law is.
I'm saying I support Islam, and I support everyone having their own way to preach and to live and to do what they want. I'm not saying at all.
Even women?
Listen, if I agree with that, I still agree with it. I live here. I support free life and everyone being able to do what they want to
Great.
do.
Then you're not who we have a problem with.
Well, why do you have a problem with what's wrong with me?
I don't have a problem with you.
I think everyone should be able to live the way they want. You're supporting a guy that doesn't like other people.
He loves
In what
everybody.
way?
Where would we be without Mexicans in this country? You know where we'd be?
Nobody said they hate Mexicans. What are you talking about?
Where did Mexicans come from?
You support a guy that wants to deport.
No, sir.
Illegal immigrants.
Illegal lawbreakers.
And those aren't just
criminals.
Mexicans. These are illegal immigrants from all over. Why are you just assuming all illegal immigrants are Mexicans? Isn't that racist?
I asked this question to you last week, and you responded with some dumb answer. But so
Well, maybe you didn't like it.
Let's say I'm a young woman, and I just here, so we're Mexicans. We came here illegally, probably the wrong way for a better life. You want to keep me out?
They came here illegally. They broke the law. I don't care how big a heart we have. We can no longer tolerate 30 million people that are in this country illegally. I love people. I want to help people in any way, shape, and form that I can. But we have 30 million people in this country that are illegal and mooching off of the system and not helping our economy, and we need to figure out the problem. We have an illegal immigration problem. I don't care how big your heart is. I don't care how big your heart is. I don't care. We are having problems in this country, and we need to fix them. And Donald Trump is speaking the truth on that. What'd you say? What'd you say?
All Mexicans who trust the government.
No, of course not. Why would you say that? That's a racist comment. Holy cow, you're the racist, man.
You said all immigrants that come to this country who trust the government.
Illegal immigration. Do you understand the difference between illegal immigration and legal immigration?
There's plenty of legal people that don't trust the government.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're our problem because they're legal citizens.
Right. The illegal ones are the ones that need to be kicked out.
Those aren't our problem because they are not United States citizens. They are not paying taxes. They are not contributing to this country in the way that normal citizens do.
So it's okay to trust the government, you're saying? As long as you're legal.
I'm not saying it's okay to mooch off the government. I don't think entitlement programs should be as widespread as they are. I think that entitlement programs have a place in this country, and we need to help people that really need it. But that's a very that's a very small percentage. Not like the highest. What do we have? The highest welfare participation right now in history. The highest food stamp participation right now in history.
Great laugh every night. I will tell you that. And you definitely want to have a bad day. Definitely make me smile. And I definitely want to ask one last thing. And I'm never going to plug in because obviously it's business.
Great.
All I ask is when Trump does lose, here we go. Can we make that happen?
When Trump loses what?
Can you make me a promise when Trump loses, hear from both you guys? Can you please be on after the fact? Because I want to see your schmaltz faces. Get something else to believe.
We are going to be scoping.
It's all over.
We are going to be scoping, and Trump is not going to lose.
And I tried to explain to you what I was going to do if your theory were to come true, but you continued to talk and ramble and make no sense, but...
No,
we will be on. We will be on when Trump wins.
Okay, well, when Trump loses or wins, whatever, I want you both. I want you to come to the Bronx, right? I'm going to get you some good Albanian.
I don't really want to go to the Bronx.
I have no interest in going to...
I have zero interest to go to the Bronx. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, hang out in Colorado.
All right. Have a
Bye.
good night, sir. Wow.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Bronx. It's just not my cup of tea.
Whew. Anyway...
That's why we do call-in scopes, because they're just so much fun. He was very angry. Very angry individual.
Colorado is nice right now. It's a little chilly, though.
Why do you think Colorado's full of white people? That's racist. We are still looking for a Hillary Clinton supporter that knows her policies and will defend her policies. Just so all 123 people know, we had a Hillary Clinton supporter call in. We asked him name one policy of Hillary Clinton's you support. His response was, policy? I don't care about policy. I'm a Democrat, so I'm voting for a Democrat. Excellent.
Sorry, we're not taking calls from Canada. So the Canada caller, you cannot call. Please.
Americans only, please. Oh, is that racist?
Have you lived anywhere besides Colorado? Yes, I have.
Is saying Americans only, please racist? Oh, man. Who cares?
Burr.
Let's lighten things up by calling that crazy girl. Yes.
Damn
We
that crazy
should.
girl.
American calls toll free. Who's our next caller? Hopefully a Hillary Clinton supporter that knows a policy or two. That's our number.
If you're Canadian and you want to talk to us, you can talk to us on here. We are not going to accept your long-distance call charges.
Sheldon Adelson. You really think it's sponsored by Adelson? Nope. And this is not a green screen. Wait, Hillary has policies? Who knew, right? She doesn't even talk about them, so... Didn't even know.
Yeah.
We will My question to you, sir, the guy that says we won't legitimately
It's
debate.
RCNIV.
Oh, you're the troll. But the problem is that my question to you, you're still a human under all that trollness. Trollism. My question to you is, what has there been to respond to for a good debate? What has there been to respond to? Because it's all been that we are wrong.
Go ahead, caller. You are live.
Hey, is this Emily
No, we support any call. Our whole point was just to get Clinton supporters to call in to defend her policies, and we have yet to hear from one for 3 months. So.
Right. Yeah, I got you. I just had to make a point that I never really hear. The guy was talking about your, Trump wants to support illegal immigrants. What about the people who wait in line? You don't think they want to get out of that bad country too, but they follow the law
Right.
legally?
Exactly. How is it fair to them?
Exactly. Like, you don't think they have families too? They care for their families? They
That's
just
a very good
follow
point.
the law.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I never hear that at that point. Just wanted to.
yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we'll start using that because there's a lot of people that are waiting in line, and somehow it's just okay for people to cross the border and live here illegally. And you're absolutely right.
Like, there's this sympathy for criminals that I don't understand. You break
Right.
the law, like, again, I'm not for the drug war, I'm not for people getting arrested for non-violent crimes, whatever, do what you want, but when you have a system set up where people of a country pay taxes to get some sort of, like, social welfare, then you have illegal people coming in, taking out of that system, how does that not, how do people think that that's okay? Like,
Right.
Exactly.
They
they didn't pay into it. Like, they didn't
Right.
pay into it. Why did they suck out if they don't pay in?
Right. I would love that question to be answered by anybody, but it seems that they cannot answer that question. But
And I mean, I don't mean to take up much of your time, but I used to work roofing, and all the Spanish guys I worked with, 'cause the company I worked for couldn't find Americans to do the job, but all the Spanish guys I worked for or worked with, all of them had licenses. I mean, and they're all illegal. Like, how
Right.
is this possible?
right.
They have a license. They can show up and vote if they
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
And they're illegal.
Right. Absolutely. Same thing with the place that I work at. I mean, a lot of these people are illegals, and they can vote if they wanted to. It's terrifying.
I mean, yeah, I just, again, I don't want to take a bunch of your time, but I wanted to make that point. What about the families who try to do illegal? You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
What about the black families in the ghetto, trying to just survive?
Right.
You don't want
Exactly.
anything to happen. There's good people everywhere. I'm sure there's good people, like I said, there's good people everywhere. People just, when you're in a country, 51% control what the 50% do. That's why America's so great. We have a Bill of Rights. You can't vote away, the first 10 rights, thank God. But, yeah, I just thought I'd make that point. I found your Periscope, which is awesome. I started watching you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for calling. You had
Thank
great
you.
points.
Thanks for calling.
All right, guys.
Bye.
And I think it's also a good point to bring up that illegal immigrants hurt poverty classes more than they hurt anybody else. And they're hurting, the African American community specifically more than any other race in this country. Illegal immigrants are. So it's just something that also needs to be brought up and continued to talk about, because I feel like nobody is talking about it.
I saw an interesting tweet today on Twitter, of course, that made up a good point that struck home with me. Since when do illegals or immigrants just get to walk into the country and, expect all this free shit? 70 years ago when my dad immigrated to this country, they had to have a sponsor, somebody that they knew who they were taking in, somebody to help them along the ways. Whatever happened to that? And when you came here, you weren't coming here because you knew you're going to be handed all of this free stuff. It's ridiculous how laxed everything has gotten.
Right. And I mean, over $1 billion in Colorado alone, in this state alone, is sucked out by illegal immigrants. Over $1 billion in this state alone. Go look at what it is in your own state. Go look at how much this illegal immigration population is sucking out of the economy in your state. Free stuff is a Fox News talking point, not based in fact. You're right, because nothing is free. Nothing is free. So when you talk about free college, or if you talk about a $15 an hour pay, minimum wage, or if you talk about free healthcare, you're absolutely right. None of it is free. And free stuff is the most expensive stuff I have ever seen. I mean, look at Obamacare. That was supposed to be free, right? Isn't that supposed to be free? What happened to that?
I would love to sit down and have an interview with Don Lemon.
Over 7, yeah, your premiums are rising, 35, 45, sometimes even higher percentage points.
No, I don't think you can call from Skype. Our phone does not do that.
Typical white guys thinking the U.S. land is his. Surprise, surprise, Columbus didn't discover it. My friend, my good friend, who said being white was important in that conversation? This is America, the United States of America. What you need to understand is that this is the country we live in. Okay, I don't know if you live here. I'm assuming you do because you have such animosity towards it. You need to understand that we are here and not leaving. The United States of America is here. So either support us and support our way of life, regardless of race, religion, or sexual orientation, or leave. Isn't that how it works here in America? That's how it should work here in America.
Obamacare only works for those who don't.
I want free housing. I'm a single mom. I gotta say that again. I want free housing. I'm a single mom, but they denied me because I have a high salary. That is just...
How dare them?
I know. Financialist. That is financialist. And we need to put a stop to that right away. October surprise, we are looking forward to it. I hope that it is something good. I don't know, maybe it's just all hype, but we will see.
What is,
Nobody once has ever said ban Muslims. Can I just repeat that for all 123 people in here? Nobody once has ever said ban all Muslims.
Thank you, that's what I was getting to.
It was a temporary ban on Muslims until we can properly vet them. But the poor liberal screamed foul because, oh my God, you can't separate that. So then he changed it and said, okay, we're going to have a temporary ban on everyone entering this country until we can properly vet them. But guess what? The same conclusion of both of those statements is the exact same. It's going to be Syrian refugees that are not going to be able to get into this country because we cannot properly vet them.
Respond why Trump has gone through 3 campaign managers, because he is an intelligent businessman, and when he understands that something's not working, then you need to fix it.
Right. And maybe we don't know. We don't know why Corey's no longer in it. We have no idea why Corey's no longer in it. Corey was a great guy from what I understand, and maybe
And
Trump...
does anybody talk about how his new campaign manager is the first woman ever to run a presidential campaign? Does anybody talk about that?
Yeah. Trump also hired the first woman to create a skyscraper, to manage the construction of a skyscraper in history. Nobody talks about that.
So if Hillary was all for equal rights, why wouldn't she have like an entire staff of women?
If Hillary was all for equal rights, wouldn't the women in her campaign staff be paid just as much as the men in the same position?
It's true. They're not, though.
They're not.
Trump won't show his tax record. First of all, he is under an audit, and he has been advised by his lawyers not to release his taxes while under the audit. Second, what are you hoping to get from his taxes? Like, what do you want to see?
All of his financials have already been released when he ran for president. Everything within financially related to the Trump organization has been released, and it is stellar. Absolutely out of control. Awesome. what the Trump organization's financials look like. And since Trump, you know him, only puts his heart and soul into the Trump organization, you know that that's how he manages his finances. If he is under an audit, no billionaire's lawyer in ever is going to allow for their tax records to be released during an audit. That's just common sense. But what do you want to see from those things so badly? What could possibly tell you something about his personal finances that the Trump organization financials couldn't tell you?
Somebody said, respond as to why Trump says that the elections are openly rigged. Take a look at the DNC against Bernie Sanders.
Right.
Proof right there.
Right.
He was just saying what everybody knew, and nobody would ever touch on it, and now proof came out.
All those Bernie supporters can say, honestly, that the election was rigged. Hillary Clinton rigged the election so that Bernie Sanders lost. All of those Bernie Sanders can say that, supporters can say that, and they are correct because it is proven by the DNC leaks. Now, if you really want to look at this, why wouldn't that work in the general as well?
So everybody's coming at us, asking us to defend Donald Trump. Let's reverse the roles here. Can somebody please explain to me why Hillary Clinton felt it necessary to delete 33,000 personal emails with a high-tech software that makes it virtually unretrievable? What is she hiding in these personal emails that...
Yeah. Some of the most advanced technology for scrubbing a server in existence. And it was for personal emails? Don't you think that's a little odd?
Can somebody tell us why Hillary Clinton found it not inappropriate, not important to respond to the 500 plus emails that she received from the people in Benghazi, but the 150 that she got from, what's his name, Sidney Blumenthal? She decided to read those and pass those along when he had nothing to do with anything. Can somebody answer me that?
Can somebody answer?
How do you guys know that? Because Trump said it? No, it was actually word by word written down. It was part of the trial that she went through.
What about the 600 cries for help in Benghazi that she ignored? Can anybody respond to that? What about...
Can somebody explain why Hillary Clinton, as Senate in New York, said she was going to create 200,000 jobs in upstate New York, but didn't do it?
Right.
Can somebody tell us why it's been 268 days since Hillary Clinton has had a press conference? Can somebody tell us why she is not going to be on the campaign trail until the debate now?
Can somebody tell us why, where'd the Haiti money go? Like, she handled all the Haiti donations. What happened to all that money? Is Haiti any better? I mean, what happened to all that money?
Can somebody explain why only 10% of the Clinton Foundation's money actually goes towards donations?
Can somebody explain to me why that she suddenly had a change of heart in 2013 for same-sex marriage when she had the opportunity in 2008 and before to support same-sex marriage?
Can somebody explain why Hillary felt it necessary to lie that she was under sniper fire when she landed in Bosnia?
Right. Can somebody explain to me how a suicide involves 2 bullets?
Can somebody explain to me why she is all for gay rights and women's rights, yet she takes money from Saudi Arabia, a country that very, very openly supports Sharia law, where they don't accept women or gays?
Right. Can somebody explain to me one of Hillary Clinton's policies that they support?
Can
and
somebody
why?
name one? You don't even have to explain it.
Actually, can somebody just name one success of Hillary Clinton in the past 30 years? She's been in the political sphere as a public servant in the past 30 years. She's amassed over close to $300 million in wealth by being a public servant. Can somebody name one accomplishment of this lady?
Can somebody explain why Hillary is all for the sanctity of marriage, yet she stood by her husband when he cheated on her? And then when she defended a child rapist, and then when she got him off, she laughed about it?
Can somebody explain why she pretty much single-handedly, with the help of President Barack Obama, created an environment in the Middle East for ISIS to grow? the death of Gaddafi, Egypt, Libya. We can talk about all these different areas where, quite literally, they created an environment for ISIS to grow, and nobody talks about it.
Can somebody explain why Hillary Clinton cannot say the words radical Islamic terrorism? Can somebody explain to me why, during the primaries, Hillary Clinton was the only person that could not say, honestly, she will not raise taxes on the middle class?
Right.
Can somebody explain to me how Hillary Clinton is still allowed to run for president after multiple FBI investigations and with the DNC leaks where they openly worked against Bernie Sanders? I think we've triggered a few people.
We're good. Okay, now that all of those
Now we're
questions
ignorant.
are out in the open, go ahead and call us and explain to us. Go ahead. Liberals, don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Ooh, Tutti Frutti's got us. She's got answers for all of these.
Okay, Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti, you have a phone.
Check out what's going on in here.
Liberals don't like questions. Crickets. Crickets, exactly. Just very quiet crickets. How is this a fake scope? We are real.
I have a feeling by not hearing a random voice, nobody's called yet.
Nobody has called.
Can somebody explain to me why nobody's calling?
That's a good one. Can somebody explain to me why nobody is calling? We do this every night at 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Please follow us on here. Follow us on Twitter, Apolitic Voice. You can also catch us on YouTube because we do live 15-minute chats about different subject matter regarding politics, and that is also Apolitic Voice.
Nobody can defend Hillary Clinton. That's exactly right.
Hillary Clinton can't even defend herself. That's why she's not in the public eye right now.
Yet she still has all of these blind supporters. I'm a Democrat at heart. She's the Democrat candidate. I have to vote for her. I think we've triggered a few people.
Get a PayPal so we can donate. If there's anything that you want to donate, direct it towards Mr. Trump and his campaign. That would be greatly appreciated.
Or donate your time and word of mouth.
Right.
Express your support for Mr. Trump.
What's wrong with being blind?
Why did she get more votes than Trump? Do you understand that the primary election season, the Republicans had, I think it was up 3 million votes, and the Democrats were down 1 million votes?
We have no ability to Skype anybody.
And do you understand that Hillary Clinton was running against one other person, and Donald Trump was running against 16 other people? I bet you never voted Democrat as a Republican, so what's your point? Actually, I have.
He was a Democrat. I'm scared to tell people I'm voting for Trump. Donations can be anonymous. Don't be scared. You guys need your own talk show for real. Well, thank you. We have been invited to do podcasts with some pretty important conservative figures out there, which is great. We have had articles written about us, so I'm really excited for what's to come. But again, our only intention is to tell the truth about what's really going on, because the media won't. He's really rich, remember? Why does he need donations? Do you understand how much money it costs to run for president? I mean, that is such an ignorant statement. Just because you are valued at a certain number doesn't mean that you can just throw all this money around. Okay, you clearly don't understand what it means to have wealth. It's not like people that are worth $10 billion just keep $10 billion in a bank account. They're all tied up in assets and equities, and you have to pay salaries, and you have to expand your business. It's not like you're just sitting there sitting on $10 billion. I mean, wake up.
Trump Nanu, or whatever your name was, message us on Twitter so we can talk about your podcast.
And it's funny that nobody gives Trump credit. Trump is the only person that has given away money during a presidential run. The only candidate that has ever given away money during a presidential run. Over $1 million. And nobody says a word about it. Nobody even talks about it. The fact that Mr. Trump has quite literally spent the least amount of money out of anybody and is still this far in the game needs to be talked about. Needs to be talked about. The fact that he has brought together so many different minority groups and so many different groups to the table to one solid purpose, which is to better the United States, is something unprecedented. And nobody gives him credit for that. Nobody talks about that. The fact that he has gotten more votes in a primary than any other candidate in history, nobody talks about that. And why aren't we talking about this? Because we are too distracted with the lies that the media is propagating. We are too distracted with the tax return bullshit. Melania stealing a speech, or Trump is orange. Evidently, that's credible news now. That is why we're not hearing about these things, and it's despicable. It's a distraction, and it's a distraction every single time, and the idiots don't even realize it. And the smart Democrats, very few of them exist, but the smart Democrats blow over it and think it's okay because they really don't like Trump. It is shameful and despicable.
I don't understand why you don't call them and watch the Periscope from your computer, or when we're done with the Periscope, you can just go back and rewatch it.
You can just hang up, call us, we'll talk to you, then you can jump back on if you want.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
His round of golf was not finished. Exactly.
We have a lot of reasons for supporting Trump. He is putting America first, and I can't even think of the last person that's put America first. He wants to take care of Americans in the country. He is going to reduce taxes for everybody in this country, especially for the small businesses, so that they can continue to thrive and grow and expand and continue to employ more people. He's going to reduce taxes for the corporate businesses so that they have incentives to stay here in America, and then they can continue to employ more people. He's going to get rid of the waste and abuse of the money that's being spent on our military. He's going to spend it wisely so that we can build up our military for a lot less than we're actually spending right now. He's got amazing plans for the VA system.
Just because you want to beef up the military doesn't mean you have to spend more. It just means you have to spend smarter.
Wisely.
How are we brainwashed? Everything that we have said has quite literally been the exact same things that have been said.
The problem...
And these are the real issues that are facing this country. How is that brainwashed by any stretch of the word? The only thing that's brainwashed is the same thing cycling in the news over and over and over again. That's what you should really be concerned is brainwashing, because that's what truly is brainwashing.
And people that think CNN is a credible news network, you do understand that they are the 7th largest donor to the Clintons, right? Of course they're going to be on Clinton's side.
Duh. Yep, and no Democrat is going to defend themselves. Not a one. There's our phone number. If you would like to call us, we would love to hear from anybody. Tutti frutti, you don't need to be so rude to our followers. I don't like... You can be rude to us all you want. But when you touch our followers, man, you got
That
another
is
thing
one
coming.
reason that we will block somebody. If you are rude to our followers.
Tutti Frutti, they have given you the correct number many, many times.
There it is, right again.
Let's see some love for Tutti Frutti to call in. The more hearts she gets, the more she's going to have to call, right?
The less likely she will be.
The more
because...
influence that she's going to have to call.
I mean, we love the hearts, I just don't want to hurt your fingers. So...
Save your fingers. Get your shit together, Carol. I know, she's just a troll. And we have...
I'm going to call, give me 3 minutes.
We've had trolls just like her since we started doing this 3 months ago. They're always like, what's the number? You show the number, you put it down. What's the number? You show the number, you put it down. What's the number? What's the number? And then finally they're like, oh, I can't call right now. I'll call in a few. And then they never call.
Trump pays us nothing. We are doing this on our own free will.
Why don't you block trolls? Because we don't want to block anybody. I feel like if anybody... Everybody's people. Everybody has a heart. Everybody has a brain. Regardless if they're trolls or not.
Oh, we have a call. Go ahead, caller. You are live.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, who is this?
Who's this?
This is Jake.
Hi, Jake.
How are you?
I'm really good. Listen, what's your name?
What can we do for you tonight?
Huh?
What can we do for you tonight?
Looking for a boyfriend?
What do you say?
He's looking for a boyfriend, duh.
Oh, that's so sweet, but we're taken.
Sorry, not giving him up. I'm stuck with him.
Telemarketer. This is a booty call. I think that's exactly what that was. Pretty cool that a guy named Milo has become famous. I know. I think that Milo was famous well before. You know, I think that
Is it her?
his exposure has...
Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Hi,
What?
Is this Tutti Frutti? Yes?
okay. First of all, I want to say that I travel a lot, so I'm a junior content. Like, do you have a phone? Whoever said, like, I can pay my Obama bill, my family makes, like, $200 grand a year, and I pay a lot of taxes, and I'm American, and I am Muslim. And I just want to tell you, I've been to Saudi Arabia, and they give women a lot of rights, support women, even though they can't drive, they have drivers, they're treated like princesses.
So women can't drive in Saudi Arabia, correct?
But Saudi Arabia is not.
Okay. And did you know that Saudi Arabia only gave women the right to vote last year? And most of them can't?
Well, they have the vote now.
They have the right to vote now, but do you understand that there is a lot of oppression still going on in Saudi Arabia?
And many people are Republicans, and Republicans with you in order, like, on the side of, like, financial stuff. I am Republican in my views, and I actually kind of, you know, it's like, you can't tell what they have the rights. You know, here women have to take their husband to court in order to pay child support. In Sharia, made thousands of years ago, you already have to pay child support. It's in the law. You have to pay child support.
What do you
Thousands of years ago.
What do you think about the killing of homosexuals?
I don't agree with that.
Right. But what do you... and I know you probably don't.
I don't think he's gay homosexual. I'm gay. I don't care.
Right. But what happens when, you know, a vast majority of the people that are coming over from Middle Eastern countries believe that this is how it should work?
The Arabs that are going to come to America are going to be the ones that have liberal views. Otherwise, it's not going to come to America.
How do we know that?
America. That's
How do we know that they're
America.
we
How do you know that?
100?
Why would someone come here? How many Arab princes do you have? How many Arab princes do you have? How many 20
Why do people always ask that question like that's going to change the facts somehow? That's not going to change the facts that the majority of these people abide by Sharia law, which is the killing of homosexuals, subjugation of women, and further. And they do that. Continue. They still do that to this day. I saw an image of a death of homosexuals yesterday.
I don't know why you think that, like, America is the only country that has, like, human rights. All these countries have human rights. We have human rights.
We
You know, someone's going to respect how Saudi Arabia, if you cut on a woman, you can go to jail. You call her a whore, you go to jail. You don't cut on women. You respect them. You respect women. Like,
So they don't have free speech over there. All I'm saying, let me level with you, okay? I'm gonna level with you 100%. Don't you think 630,000 refugees? I want to help them because they are in a situation where they are hurting in their country. I want to help them, but don't you think that it would be easier for them to assimilate to Gulf regions like Saudi Arabia or elsewhere? And why aren't these other countries taking them in? It's harder for them to assimilate with Western civilization because of the way that they were brought up and because of the basis of their country and what they believe. Now, don't you think assimilation would be much easier in other Muslim countries? Why aren't they helping? The Saudi Arabia that makes $1 billion a day can't afford Syrian refugees?
Saudi Arabia has billions upon billions. There's a lot of Syrians over there. I've been converted. Let me
I can't hear her.
Can you speak up, please, sweetie? We cannot hear you.
America's superpower.
Saudi Arabia needs to do more. Other countries, wealthy Gulf states, need to do more for these Syrian refugees. I don't think that it's the United States' responsibility, nor any Western civilization's responsibility to take these people when we can contribute, time, money, effort into creating safe zones in Syria, which would help more Syrian refugees than what we're helping by taking them in, by the way. Why don't we do that?
I agree. I don't think that all these refugees become American.
Right.
I'm a refugee. I was born in 18. My mom is German American.
But
I'm a refugee.
But you sound like somebody that believes in a secular state. You believe like somebody that can separate your religious viewpoints from the laws of the land. And that's fine. We have no problem with that.
Not all Muslims have the same ideology.
No, not one time did we say all Muslims feel this way. We're saying the majority of Muslims in the Middle East support Sharia law.
Why did you, not even the Middle East, I mean, American born and raised in Colombia, alright?
You have an emotional attachment to the people of your religion, which is fair. I understand that, okay? But what I don't understand is how you can contribute to a secular state in your own beliefs, in your own mind, but when you see other people not abiding by a secular state, when they are, in fact, killing homosexuals, oppressing women, etc., how you don't stand up and fight against that. Because shouldn't you be fighting against those people that are doing such atrocities? Our college, and that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. I'm just saying women still don't have the amount of rights that they should in these countries. You're talking about developed countries, UAE and Saudi Arabia. You're talking about areas that are semi-developed, I should say. They just make a ton of money is pretty much what it comes down to. And there is still gays being killed in Saudi Arabia. There's still women being stoned to death in Saudi Arabia.
I don't know, like, there might be some people that have people everywhere. People that in America. Oh, give me a good woman. Are you kidding me? It's everywhere. And you said
I can't hear her. Are you gonna?
I can't hear her either.
Tell me why Hillary supports Saudi Arabia because that does not support women.
They don't. They don't. They don't.
You don't think they love their wife?
I don't know. I don't know.
When we see videos of women being stoned to death or being beaten or being disfigured or anything because they wear Western clothes or anything like that, that does not show me that these people over there agree with women's rights. And when you're pushing gays off of buildings or stoning them to death, that also shows that they don't believe in gay rights. So why would Hillary Clinton support and accept money from somebody that doesn't, her viewpoints don't jive together? She's very contradictive.
For Hillary, it's all about money.
Yes, for Hillary, it is all about money. We agree with you. Okay, hey, hold on one second. We cannot hear you. You are very muffled, you are very quiet, and you're very cackly. Is there anything you can do to speak louder into the phone, please?
How about now?
Good.
Good.
Yes.
So again, why is Hillary taking money from Saudi Arabia when there is evidence and proof that they oppress women and they kill gays?
And not...
That's the only thing they do. You can't just...
I'm not saying that's the only thing that they do, but I'm saying there is proof that that's what they do. It happens. Why would you not? Exactly, for money.
Trump isn't going to get money from the... Trump isn't going to get anything really... He's not trying to get any money from the Middle East.
And think of all these favors that she's now going to owe Saudi Arabia. Does that not worry you at all?
That's putting other people's interests before America.
Saudi Arabia is helping America. They're not going to bomb him. They're not going to do anything.
How do you know that? How are you so sure of that?
Okay,
Okay.
so I don't want to be rude, but there's something going on at LAX that I'm very more intrigued about, so we're going to let you go because we can't hear you anyway.
Thank you for calling. Don't be so rude.
I'm very curious as to what's going on at LAX. Can anybody enlighten us? I just read briefly that they shut down somewhere because police are there.
Going to see really important stuff like LAX shooting.
Please come back and let us know what's going on.
False alarm.
Oh,
False. People in this country suppress blacks and kill gays too. Give me one shred of evidence that homosexuals are killed because they are homosexuals in this country, and don't just give me a one-off. I'm going... So let's play a game, okay? You give me a certain case where somebody in this country has been killed for being homosexual, and I will give you a case outside of this country, particularly in the Middle East, where somebody has been killed by a homosexual. And then we'll go back and forth, and then we'll see who runs out first.
yes, and I do understand that that was a very rude way for me to hang up the phone on her. But one, we could not hear her. We could not get any parts across because we couldn't hear her.
Okay, for her point, I understand, but there has not been one time ever that we have said all Muslims are bad people. Not one time have we ever said that all Muslims are terrorists. Not one time have we ever said that. I personally believe in the right for all religions to exist in this country. Freedom of religion. I believe in it. I understand it. That's great. That's awesome. Wonderful. Great. Okay? But now we're talking about something different. We're not talking about religion anymore. We're talking about a law, okay? A non-secular law that the majority of Islam followers in the Middle East follow, and that's called Sharia law. Okay, Sharia law, we know for a fact, is toxic to Western civilization. It is toxic to anybody, really, that wants to survive if you're a minority, right? Essentially, that's what it is. And you need to understand that the people that are coming from Syria grew up under this law, under this regime, and they understand that killing homosexuals is okay. Those are the ones that you see standing at the base of the building while somebody drops the gay person off the top of the building. So all of those people standing around the building are considered the moderate Muslims. Well, they're just as much as fault for everything too. They see this and they are immune to it. They are desensitized to it and they think it's okay. These are the people that we're bringing into this country, whether it's wrong or right, what they believe. They cannot abide by Western civilization. They cannot assimilate with us very well because I don't want to die. Tutti frutti, you are not at fault. I just said not all Muslims are bad. We appreciate your phone call. We agree with you. We both agree on the same thing, that we agree in separation of church and state, and we agree that not all Muslims are terrorists. We know that. We also know that all Muslims don't support Sharia law. Okay? But what you fail to understand is the more and more that these people are brought into this country from their countries, they do not understand Western values and Western civilization. It's harder for them to assimilate. What's going on?
Possible active shooter at LAX. Still no confirmation of shooter or bodies.
Exactly. Sharia law also calls for the death if you're going to leave the religion of Islam. That's not very tolerant to me.
Exactly. It takes only one radical to wipe out a nightclub. And think what happens with the 630 plus thousand refugees that come into this country. Let's say that even 1% of those people are extremists. They band together.
No.
Think of what they can do to this country.
You are taking a tiny proportion of Muslims, of the Muslim population. No, I am not. It is not 1 in 10, okay? It is quite literally 88% in the Muslim regions, right? The Muslim countries, 88% of those individuals support Sharia law. That is not a tiny minority. That is not a small percentage. That is a very large percentage, and one that we need to be aware of. This is all on Pew Research. You can look it up.
And I don't care if it's 1 or 100,000 people that support Sharia law come into this country.
Right.
That's too many.
Luker, you're back. Isn't that the guy we blocked?
We blocked him by accident.
Sorry. ISIS has nothing to do with Islam, and we're not talking about ISIS. We're not talking about ISIS at all. I'm actually less scared of ISIS than I am of Sharia law, which 88% of Muslims in the Middle East follow.
Sharia threatens gays and women's rights as we know them in the West, exactly. And I cannot understand how anybody would voluntarily be on board of taking them into this country. Trump does support gays. Look back to the late 80s, early 90s when he was giving money to gay men's research and AIDS research.
Yep.
Look at the RNC where Pete Thiel openly spoke at the convention and was invited by Donald Trump.
Look at in the year 2000 when he had an interview with The Advocate, a very well-known gay magazine that says there needs to be an amendment to the 1964 Civil Rights Act to include homosexuals.
You guys are cool, don't let the haters drag you down. Thank you, and we don't. They just help prove our point that none of the left is tolerant like they are supposed to be.
None of them support Sharia. That is not true. I will actually show you that. Oh, but my iPad is right there. Shoot. That is not true. Pew Research deconstructs every single country in the Middle East and the amount of Muslims and then the percentage of Muslims within those countries, how many of them support Sharia law, and the numbers are astonishing.
Regardless, people in the Middle East support Sharia law. I don't care who they are, how they want to identify themselves. People in general in the Middle East support Sharia law.
In general.
People from the Middle East are refugees that are coming to this country. Fact. Some of those people will be hardcore Sharia law supporters, and they will get into this country.
Fact.
That is why we are asking for a temporary ban on those people coming into this country so that we can vet them and know for the safety of our people and America that they are going to come here and not do anything bad.
Is the mayor of London against gays? I don't know what he secretly believes. Who knows?
Exactly, not extremist either, just your average moderate Muslim, right?
And that's what we want to shed light on. Everybody's like, oh, not all Muslims are terrorists. We know all Muslims are not terrorists. It's like, obvious. We know that. We're not stupid. But the majority of Muslims do support something that encourages the death of people like us. So I'm not into that.
2 injured, multiple shots, 1 person in custody, maybe a TSA officer killed.
Well, at least he's in custody.
You should not be scared of such radicals then.
What? We're not talking about radicals.
Why don't we put a temporary ban on gays until we can figure out what they are doing? They're not killing anybody.
What is Takia and Maruna? Tutti Frutti, answer that question. What is Takia and Maruna?
Half. Half what? How can you fear Muslims and not white people? Because Muslims that support Sharia law openly kill gay people.
Actually, we've had a lot of support from the Christian base, and we are Christians ourselves, so...
And we get it. We understand that religion out there thinks that homosexuality is a sin. That is all fine and dandy. If people want to go by that and live their lifestyle that way and be sheltered, whatever you want. At the end of the day, Christians are not calling for the stoning of gays.
Right.
Jews are not calling for the stoning of gays.
Right.
Buddhism is not calling for the stoning of gays or throwing them off of buildings.
Right.
And 99% of the Muslims are not killing another either. Well,
Nobody's
it's that
not,
1% that we're worried about.
Right. And but what you have to understand is that there are still 11 Muslim countries out there where death to homosexuals is completely legal. And all these social justice warriors in this country all mad about where trannies poop, when there are, like, quite literally laws out there that say it's okay for the killing of homosexuals. And our social justice warriors are worried about where trannies poop.
Air traffic halted.
Oh wow, it's a big deal.
Being evacuated.
How come Trump don't have an openly gay person working on his campaign group? He has openly gay people working in the Trump organization in high executive positions. And we don't know. He just had Pete Thiel talk at the RNC. If you don't know who Pete Thiel is, he is a openly gay businessman worth over $2 billion. And he is incredible. And that was the first time that a Republican candidate has asked an openly gay member to speak at the RNC. That is unprecedented, and that should be taken quite seriously. And when Mr. Trump got back on stage and said, LGBT, I will protect you, the entire room of conservatives clapped. And Mr. Trump then said, thank you so much for that, because that's something that doesn't usually happen in here. And that, right there, gave me chills, and something that I know for a fact he is going to support all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or sexual orientation.
No evidence of shooting or victims. Twitter reports suggest situation may be a hoax.
It's a hoax.
Interesting. We are voting Trump.
Like when your police kill blacks. Actually, more white people in this country die by the hand of a police firearm than any other race. Nobody talks about the white deaths because clearly those don't matter. Percentage-wise too. And we all know that, especially in areas with high poverty rates that are primarily, African American communities, we know that they come in contact with police more so than any other race. So it is completely, makes complete sense why shootings are a little bit higher percentage proportionally to the black community, because they are committing more crimes in these areas. That is a fact.
Ah, that's where it comes out. She's Muslim. Tutti Frutti.
Duh.
Oh, I didn't know that. Go ahead, caller, you're live. Wow. We're not brothers, we're lovers. People's kids are dying. Muslims' kids, you want those parents to say sorry?
My gosh, I mean, look at how many of its citizens these Muslim countries are killing. Look at it. Let's look at it logically. Let's just take a deep breath and look at it logically. The Middle Eastern countries haven't necessarily been successful for 1,500 years. They have been moderately successful at best. They clearly have an issue that is holding them back and keeping them in this barbaric state. Quite literally, 1,500 years have passed, and they have yet to become stellar communities. So why don't we look at why? We can say religion, but somebody will get all offended by that. We can't say religion. Okay, so religion's off the table. We could say that they have corrupt governments. But then again, somebody would get mad. Oh no, they don't have corrupt governments. They know what they're doing, whatever. I mean, quite literally, out of all the other countries, except for, Middle Africa, pretty much, the Middle East is falling apart. If the Middle East didn't have oil, if the Middle East didn't have oil, I would go as far as to say that there wouldn't really be a Middle East.
I'm not going to go overseas to a country that openly hates homosexuals. I would never go to a country where I would fear my life the entire time I was there.
Do you have to dress in a burqa? Or anything? Are you required to dress a certain way? Because I feel like that is oppression. No, I don't. Well, there's many Muslim countries where you do, in fact, have to dress a certain way. There is a lot of oil in America. A lot of oil in America. And if any of us want to get upset, see, this is what's interesting. This is what's really interesting about everything going on. And so let's look at oil, for example. Okay, we have discovered fracking quite recently. We have discovered that there is a lot more oil in the United States than we ever knew before. And so what's going on right now is that Saudi Arabia, OPEC essentially, which is the organization with all countries, but we know it's run by Saudi Arabia, has decided to push the United States oil market under so that they can keep their dominance in the oil industry. We all know that's the case. We all know what happened to oil prices, right? But what's interesting is everybody's going to say gas prices falling are a good thing, while our, how we're getting oil out of the ground in the United States, right? United States oil manufacturing is dead. Dying. It's not dead. It's dying at an alarming rate. And nobody really cares about that because they see oil as this big bad beast. What happens when Saudi Arabia dominates the oil market again? I mean, nobody learns from their mistakes. Nobody learns from Rockefeller, right? And so I just feel like people decide what they want to decide on what's good. So, oh, my gas is cheaper. This is good. It has to be good since my gas is cheaper. We'll just give it about 10, 15 years. Oh, everybody's talking to Tutti Frutti.
Supposedly she has 3 gun emojis in her profile.
Yes, your gas could be a lot cheaper if we produced it ourselves. Solely ourselves. Yes.
Maybe Hillary can organize a gays for Hillary what in Saudi Arabia? I just saw the coolest lightning bolt from a storm back there.
These chairs are very uncomfortable.
I know, and I'm very cold. Wrap it up?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for following us. Definitely follow us here on Periscope and on Twitter, A Politic Voice. We do our call-ins every night, or at least we try to. We appreciate common sense argument and open discussion, and we look forward to that every single time. Of course, we know trolls exist, but trolls, be respectful. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Politic Voice. Or, I'm sorry, YouTube.
And Denver people, definitely reach out to us on Twitter. We are looking for more people to get together to go out and do canvassing with and registering and all that fun stuff, so we can hopefully get something set up.
Yes.
But again, thank you for watching us tonight. We love all of you. We love our haters. We love our lovers.
Right. And we will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.